श्री तपोवन परम गुरवे नमः। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्म विद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all of you. Welcome to this beautiful evening where we invoke the new year by invoking the grace, usher in the new year by invoking the grace of Bhagwan Vishnu through this Vishnu Sahasranam Archana. One of the most beautiful aspects of human life is inspiration and hope. No matter what has happened yesterday, no matter what has happened today, tomorrow can always be different, tomorrow can always be better. And if we have something to look forward to, we can make our life most fulfilling and satisfying. So there are various times when our heart is filled with enthusiasm, energy, inspiration. Many festivals are there, many celebration occasions are there. This Gregorian calendar, today it ends, tomorrow new calendar begins. One more occasion to renew ourselves, to commit ourselves, and that's the beauty of human life, that we can continuously change, consciously continuously change. Change otherwise happens in the world, in Prakriti it anyway happens, change is the changeless law, but we can consciously change for the better, we can evolve higher and higher. So one very beautiful quote I read, it is not enough to have more and more, it is important to rise higher and higher in life. And so how do we evolve higher and higher? How do we ensure that we manifest our potential? How do we do something where we challenge ourselves? A new year can be new only when we do these things. How do we challenge ourselves? How do we break out of comfort zones? What is the new thing that we will try from tomorrow onwards? What are some old patterns and habits that we want to break? Otherwise, human life is such, it is said by many psychiatrists, 60,000 thoughts we think in a day, and out of that, more than 55% of the thoughts are what we thought yesterday. We just carry forward. Think about it. Psychologically, we carry forward so many thoughts, memories, regrets, anxieties, and every day these occupy our mind. If we are able to reduce these thought patterns, live in inspiration, live in joy, live in with a higher vision, then, like Puja Guruji said, every moment will become new for us. Whole spiritual knowledge is to help us to live in inspiration every moment. Otherwise, inspiration comes in spurts and we are very inspired, and after some time, you are attending this camp, 3 days, and spiritual knowledge and satsang and everything, and you feel very inspired that yes, I am going to do it, I am going to study, I am going to read the Gita, beautiful values of 16th chapter, I am going to live it. And 2 days after the camp is over, you may even start, you may even study, you may even join a class. 1 week it will go on. After some time, what happens? The so-called pressures of life, they build up, they take over, and then one postpones, and again one is back into the same rut. So how do we ensure that we don't fall into a rut? We live in inspiration, at the same time we live in discipline. That's the beautiful balance that Vedanta tells us. If you look at Puja Gurudev's life, 42 years he served, tirelessly he served, and there was a certain part of his day which was fixed. This kutia you see here, every morning whenever he was here, he would wake up early, write 100 to 150 letters a day, reply to so many people, and it's not one type of letters. Some child has written to him, so he has to answer to a child in the language the child can understand. Then a youth writes to him, a skeptic writes a question to him, he has to change his thought process and answer him. Some elderly person sometimes is saying about some home issue, some other challenges, he has to reply to them. Some brahmachari, some swami has written about center problems, he has to reply to them. Just think about his mindset, his clarity, how quickly he would change. And for 42 years he would do this. Write letters, reply to people, do a morning class, evening class. That is standard in his life and did not become boring at all. Somebody even asked him, 42 years Swamiji, you are speaking on the Gita every day. Are you not bored? He said, I derive my inspiration from the Gita. Every single day he would speak on the Gita. So some part of his life was fixed, and through the day so many other projects and programs and service of the society. So how do we gain that balance? Vedanta teaches us very, very beautifully. So new year, that is something that we must think about for ourselves. What is something new that we will attempt? One value, one quality that we want to start implementing. Many New Year resolutions turn into dissolutions very fast. So one important purpose of doing this celebration is our willpower may be weak sometimes, but God's grace is very powerful. So we invoke God's grace saying, Bhagwan, let my day from tomorrow onwards, the new day, new year, let me be a new person. And please bless me with the strength that whatever resolve I take, whatever resolution I take, I must fulfill that with firm determination. So that's where we invoke the grace, and what we are going to do is one of the most powerful sadhanas. There are lots of Sahasranams. Lalita Sahasranam is there, Shiva Sahasranam is there, Vishnu Sahasranam. Of many, many Sahasranams, Vishnu Sahasranam is considered very, very powerful, and it has become very popular also. Where is this Vishnu Sahasranam found? It is found in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Mahabharata, in the Anushasanika Parva. And it is a conversation between Bhishma Pitamaha and Yudhishthir. And imagine Bhishma Pitamaha has been pierced with arrows all over his body. He has fallen on the ground, resting on the bed of arrows, waiting for Uttarayan to happen. He wants to drop the body only at that time. Excruciating pain. One small pin goes into our body, not even it has to go in. Somebody just pokes. And how much we react. And here arrows have pierced his body. He is lying on the bed of arrows. At that time, Bhagavan Krishna has told Yudhishthir that go, the royal sun is going to set. He is an abode of knowledge, wisdom, experience. Learn from him about dharma. So whole Shanti Parva is there, in which so much knowledge is given by Bhishma to Yudhishthir. Raja Dharma is there, Moksha Dharma also is there. Many different types of dharmas are explained in that conversation. In that, Yudhishthir asks him some beautiful questions. So if you take your book, here you will find, see page number 1. Last shloka, if you see in that page number 1, Yudhishthira uvacha, Kimekam Daivatam Loke. Who is the Supreme Lord in this whole universe? Kimekam Daivatam Loke. We believe in God being nameless, formless, attributeless Brahman, manifesting in so many different forms. So many times one gets confused which form, and a bhakta wants to know that whether the form that one is worshipping is supreme or not. So Yudhishthira is asking for the benefit of all. Kimekam Daivatam Loke. Who is the supreme form? Kimvapyekam Parayanam. Whose refuge should we seek? When we seek refuge, surrender when we seek refuge, we find rest. Suppose there is lot of heat. Then when we go below a tree, we find shade, we find coolness, we feel happy. The heat we are saved from. So a tree can protect us. In the world, when we go through so many afflictions, subjective agitations, outside difficulties, challenges, what is that one whose refuge if we take, we find peace, strength, happiness, knowledge, love. So he says, who is that whose refuge I can take? And it's very important, whose refuge we take, our potential manifests according to that. What is my altar of surrender? In Ramayana we find that Hanumanji, as long as he was serving Sugriv, was he able to do anything extraordinary? He was very ordinary person. But when he found Bhagwan Ram and he surrendered to the Lord, then the extraordinary powers in him started manifesting. So here Yudhishthira asks, who is that Lord whose refuge I can take? One whose refuge we take should be such that our potential can manifest and we become from ordinary to extraordinary. We let go of our limitations, our self-limiting thoughts. So he says, Kimva Pyekam Parayanam. 6 questions he asks. Second question is this. Third one, Stuvanta. And fourth one, Kam Archantaha. Whom if I glorify, whom should we glorify? Stuvanta Kam. That we will attain the auspicious, we will attain the best. Prapnuyur Manava Shubham. Whom should we praise? In the world, whose praise we like the most? Our praise. If somebody praises us, it is so sweet to hear, it's so lovely. But in our culture, what do we say? Siyavar Ramachandra ki, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki, Sadgurunath Maharaj ki. May Bhagwan be glorious always. May we always sing the glory of the Lord. The victory of the Lord is what we are interested in. The praise of the Lord, the stuti of the Lord. Because truly Bhagwan alone is praiseworthy. Who is infinite is praiseworthy. We are finite entities. Our whole life is not even like a small firefly. It just pop into existence and pop out, considering the whole creation. Very small lifespan. Bhagwan is the one who is infinite. So who should be actually glorified is Bhagwan. So he asks here, Stuvanta Kam. So either we glorify people from whom we want favors, we want some, approvals, some benefits. So we glorify them for our benefit, or we glorify ourselves. Here he asks, whom should we glorify? Stuvanta Kam. Kam Archanta. Whose Archana should we do? Then, Ko Dharma Sarva Dharmanam Bhavata Paramo Mataha. What is the supreme dharma? Of all different dharmas which are there, what is the supreme dharma? And Kim Japan Muchyate Jantuhu. By chanting, repeating, doing japa of what? Do we become free? From what? Janma Samsara Bandhanat. From the sorrows and afflictions in this world. So 6 questions he asks, and in answer to that, Bhishma Pitama narrates this Vishnu Sahasranam. And beauty of this is, Krishna Bhagwan is standing right there. In front of Bhagwan, he had the blessing of reciting 1,000 names of the Lord. Imagine his bhakti and his bhavana also. In that excruciating, painful situation, he is able to answer. And he gives this whole beautiful Vishnu Sahasranam. So in the first shloka we will just see, rest of it anyway we will see the name. So he says, Jagat Prabhum Deva Devam. The Supreme Lord of the universe is the Lord of all the Lords, Deva Devam. Anantam, who is infinite. Purushottama, he is the Supreme Purusha, who is in the hearts of all. Stuvan Nama Sahasrena. That Purusha we have to glorify. We have to do the stuti. We have to do the archana. We have to do the japa. We should remember that Lord. And by doing that, we will attain what we want to, and we will also be free from all afflictions. Purusha Satatothitaha. That will help us to evolve also. See, what we are going to do is what Gurudev taught us when we do Vishnu Sahasranam. Each one, this is called Samohik Vishnu Sahasranam. Each of us are doing this. And when we do something as a Samoha, Samashti, what happens? Everybody is chanting, creates a divine atmosphere, creates tremendous vibrations, energy. It helps all of us. And if you know in our scriptures what is said, the beauty of doing it as Samashti is what? The punya that is generated by each one gets collected. Suppose we are like, let us say 200 people here. 200 people generate, let us say 100 units. Each one generates 100 units. How much it is? 20,000 units of punya we generate. How much do you think each of you will get? You will not take only 100 units of punya. Each of you will take back how much? 20,000. That is the power of samashti sadhana when we do. And that's why Gurudev used to encourage Samohik Vishnu Sahasranam Archana. This you can apply for any sadhana, samashti sadhana. So today when we are doing it together, we are invoking that grace that much more, one aspect. And we are doing little different today. We are not chanting every name and offering the flowers and the rice that is given to you. We will chant the stotram itself. At the end of every stotram you can offer. So there will be a puja that we will do, and as a part of the puja the chanting will happen. And if you see the Falashruti, what is the benefit of doing this Vishnu Sahasranam? So after the stotram is over, you see page number 17, long list is given what all one attains through it. I'm not going to go into all the details, but here it is said that whoever chants this gets all the blessings, is protected from many of the evils. One who wants spiritual knowledge will attain spiritual knowledge. One who wants to have courage, bravery will attain that. One who wants to have wealth, prosperity will attain that. One who wants pleasure, enjoyment, one will attain those things. One who wants to follow dharma, steadfast, one will attain that. Dharmarthi prapnuyat dharmam, artharthi chartham apnuyat. Wealth a person wants, one will get that. Any specific desire one has, kaman avapnuyat kami, one will be blessed with that. If one wants a child, prajarthi prapnuyat prajam. If somebody wants bhakti, like Puja Guruji said, may our bhakti be stronger, then this will bless with bhakti also. This is fifth one. Bhaktiman yah sadothaya. Then yasha prapnoti vipulam. One will get lot of glory, fame, lot of things are given here. Anyone has any health issues, you know, many people chant Vishnu Sahasranam and they become healthy by just chanting. And there documented evidence is available for it. Just by chanting Vishnu Sahasranam. So many planetary challenges which one has, those get averted. Those get solved by chanting Vishnu Sahasranam. So this is a very, very powerful stotram. And with great devotion, we will do this, invoke the grace of Bhagwan.